So we just changed the format to medium date, and then in the default value, don't do the build button. Stay right inside and just type equals, date, open, close, parentheses, and then right click on contact, save, and then we'll also right click and go into data sheet view so we can actually start filling in the information. Now you see the new tab for the column entry date, and then we'll press tab 5 times. And the date that we're going to fill in, you're actually going to click, this is called a date picker button, and then click the current date. And then on the next one, do the same thing, and you can pick a different date or today's date, whatever, your birthday, pick whatever you'd like. Then you're going to choose the entry date at the top so it selects the entire column, and click the Fields tab. And then make sure you click Required. So the required property will create an error message if the user attempts to use a record date in the database without a date in the field. So you need to have a date in there. So now we'll go ahead and choose right click and close. For the table companies, right click and choose design view. And now we're working on creating primary keys. Primary key serves two important purposes. First, it contains data that uniquely identifies each record in a table. And the second, the primary key helps relate one table to another. And you'll see that later on when we try and when we actually select different categories from different tables. So go ahead and choose, so we did the right click and design view. Right click on the company's table tab. And then click close. And then we'll right click on contacts and choose design view. And you'll notice the contact ID number. And we want to make that the primary key. So with contact ID number selected, click up in the top in the design mode, primary key. And it puts a little key on the left-hand side for you, the little key button. And then now we'll save this. So right click, save, and then right click again and close. So I just wanted to go over the one that we just did to contacts in design view. We made contact ID the key in that one. And if I go back to the companies in design view, that one was already, the company ID was already key. So we just wanted to confirm that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open industries in design view. So right click and choose design view. And this one only has one field name, and it also is a key. And then we'll close out of here. And then right click the jobs table and choose design view. And then on this one, the job ID number is also the key. And we'll close out of that. So we're just confirming everything that has been labeled with the key. And then we'll right click states and provisions, design view. And this one, the key is the state abbreviation. And then we'll close out of that. So they all have a key. So the design related tables describes that each field can have a key. And later on, when you try to take information from different tables, they have to be connected by some familiar or unique information. Some can be primary and some can be foreign, and we'll get into that in just a moment. So the first thing we're going to do is choose database tools, and then you'll select relationships. So when you have keys that are one to many, they are related. So if you see in the table industries and the table companies, they have different keys. That one only has one. And company is the ID, is the key for companies table. But the familiar or the relationship is industries in the industries, and it's also in companies. And then if you look into the next one, the table jobs, again, their key is a different one from the company's table, but there is a common one-to-many link, and then the same, we're going to make a new one. So the first thing we're going to do, and these are all the tables, and if you want to see more, you can just drag down. These are all the tables, and we are, you can make it larger, there you go. These are all the tables and what categories are in each table. So we have our relationship window, and we actually want to have the so the table that we are missing is our new one, the states and provinces. So you can just hold and drag it over here, and you can actually just bring it in there. If you want to move it, you can. So the connection we are going to make with this new one is we want to drag the state abbreviation over to the state abbreviation in the companies. So if you want to move it over, you can. So you're just going to hold when you're pointing at this state abbreviation. So your left mouse, hold, and drag it to the state in companies right here. And when you get to it, you let go. And if you did it correctly, it should be the states and provinces table, and you selected the state abbreviation, and you're connecting it with the table companies with the field state. So next you'll click Enforce Referential Integrity, and then you'll choose Create. And once you do that, you'll make the connection, the relationship there. So you just made the connection one, and these three dots or two dots means infinity, one to many. So now we're going to right click the contacts table and choose Table Design. And underneath Entry Data, we're going to add one more field, and this one's going to be Company ID. And the data type is going to be numbers. You can just type in N. And then we'll right click this and then save. And then right click and close. So it takes us back here, and if you open this up, you'll see the new one that you just entered, Company ID. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the Company ID from companies and connect it to the contacts. So hold Company ID here, drag to the Company ID in contacts, and let go. And this one, you can see that the companies table to the contacts table, and it's both Company ID. And then we'll click Create Referential Integrity and choose Create. And again, you made a connection here. And then we'll select the Design tab. And then we'll choose Relationship Report. And then we'll right click on this relationship report and click Close. Yes to save. And then OK. And then we'll right click on Relationship tab and click Close. So now we made all of our connections, and we're going to create sub data sheets. So the first thing we're going to do is double click the industries table. So the table industries, double click it, opens it up. To select everything, this button right here to the left of industry, when you click it, it selects all. And then they all have plus signs next to them, and it doesn't matter which one you select, but it'll open up what's under every single category as subcategories. So it doesn't matter which one you click. And it opens all of them. So you can see aerospace, agriculture, banking, they have sub data sheets. On the second one, navigational systems, click that sub data sheet box. And then click jobs in the insert sub data sheet, select jobs, and then click OK. And then it gives you a sub data sheet of the navigational systems job titles. And then over on the far right where it says the fee, fill in 50.25 and do that for each of the 4 jobs. And then we'll click the all button again. And then we'll click the collapse. So brought them all small again. And then we'll right-click Industries and close. And then say no to save changes to the company. And then we'll double-click the jobs table. And then we'll scroll down to the navigation. The navigation systems. And then we're looking at 25 through 26. And if you scroll over to the right, you'll see the fees that you put in. And then we'll right click and close. And this is a save and submit. Thank you.